Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into something that sits right at the heart of human ambition and, well, fear.
Hmm.
Facing those big, hairy, seemingly impossible challenges. You know, the ones they feel overwhelming. There's no clear path, no map.
And definitely no guarantee of success.
Exactly. Sometimes they're just, big, quiet worries lurking in the back of your mind.
That's right. And our source material for this deep dive offers a truly unique lens on this exact topic. We're pulling insights from Josh Kaufman's book, How to Fight a Hydra.
And what makes this book so fascinating, it isn't just the insights themselves, although they're great.
No, it's the delivery.
It's the way they're delivered. It's framed as like a discovered and translated manuscript written by an ancient scribe.
Right.
And this isn't a hero born for glory. It's someone choosing to leave a safe, sort of mundane life.
Soul-crushing, even.
Yeah, soul-crushing life, to literally go slay a mythical Hydra. I mean, talk about a scary project.
Exactly. It uses this classic fantasy quest as a really powerful allegory, I think, to explore the very real struggles we face when we decide to pursue ambitious, uncertain goals in our own lives.
So over the next little while, we're going to follow this scribe's journey through that manuscript, from the initial decision, through the messy reality of the process.
Which is often very messy.
Right, the intense struggle itself, and then the surprising outcome. And our mission, really, is to extract the core wisdom from this ancient adventure story.
The kind of wisdom that can actually equip you to face whatever hydras might be looming in your world.
Okay, so where does this incredible journey begin, according to the manuscript? What's
Yeah.
the spark?
Well, it starts with what you might call the call to quest, but it's not some external summons, you
Not
know.
a booming voice from the heavens.
No, not at all. We meet the protagonist, this scribe, whose life is just defined by dusty rooms and soul-crushing monotony. They describe feeling like the sheer boredom is driving them insane.
That feeling of stagnation, it's incredibly relatable, isn't it?
Yep.
And it becomes this, like, explosive catalyst for everything that follows. They make this enormous, terrifying decision to go find and fight a Hydra.
Yeah.
And it's driven by something deeply internal. A burning ambition, not really for fame or fortune at first, but simply to avoid a life filled with regret. It's about escaping that internal death.
Absolutely. And predictably, when they announce this plan, the reaction from their world is, well, exactly what you'd expect, right?
Let me guess. Not supportive.
Not exactly. Family, friends, even their master react with immediate fear and concern. They see the scribe as a fool, someone clearly not a hero.
It's the voice of conventional wisdom, isn't it? That fear of leaving the known safe path.
Even when that path feels like it's slowly killing you.
Yeah. But what's really insightful here, I think, is the scribe's perception of why others are so afraid for them. They realize it's not just about their physical safety.
That's a crucial point from the text. They understand that the fear expressed by others is also kind of a reflection of the other's own fear. It's the fear of what the protagonist's potential success, or maybe even just the act of courageously trying this huge, scary thing, says about the choices they have made.
Right, and the inaction they've maybe embraced.
Exactly. It challenges the comfortable status quo everyone else is living by.
Wow, that adds a whole other layer to external criticism, doesn't it?
It really does.
And despite all this doubt swirling around them, both externally and probably, let's be honest, raging internally,
Oh, for sure.
the protagonist forms this powerful resolve. They decide they simply must persist.
Right. And they accept the fundamental, unavoidable risk inherent in such a pursuit. They cannot control the outcome.
Can't guarantee it.
No. They can only control their own preparation, their conduct, and the effort they put in.
And that acceptance, that's such a critical mindset shift right at the very beginning, isn't it?
It is huge.
You can't guarantee success, but you can control your approach to the challenge. So, setting out, what do they actually know about the Hydra they were going to fight? Was it all just legend?
Their knowledge is based mostly on, fragmented stories and legends. They know the Hydra is fearsome primarily because of its multiple heads.
Which the text uses as a symbol,
Oh.
right? Like facing many opponents or problems at once.
Exactly. And they know the famous legend from Hercules' myth that when you cut off a head, two more grow back unless you immediately cauterize the wound with fire.
Right, the cauterizing part is key.
Crucial. They also know hydras live in incredibly deep, dark, rare places you have to actively seek out, not just stumble upon accidentally.
So based on this limited, maybe exaggerated knowledge, they start preparing for this massive unknown.
Yeah.
What does that look like?
Well, they gather tools making sure they're reliable, like a good sword and a whetstone to keep it sharp.
Practical things.
Very practical. They learn skills that are completely outside a scribe's normal life, like how to build torches that will burn bright and long enough for the fight.
Okay, that makes sense. Need light in those dark caves.
And perhaps most importantly, they undertake physical and mental training. This doesn't come naturally at all for a scribe, you know?
I can imagine.
They need strength, quickness, and endurance for the literal battle, but also patience and resolve for the entire, potentially very long quest. It's training for the body and the mind.
And this whole preparation process, the text suggests, leads them to a key understanding of courage, which isn't what most people think, maybe.
Right, it's not the absence of fear at all. The protagonist is very clear in the manuscript that they are afraid.
Which seems pretty reasonable.
It acknowledges that this is a perfectly normal and, frankly, sane response to facing a terrifying monster. Courage, they realize, is being afraid and acting anyway.
Okay, so accepting the fear but not letting it paralyze you.
That's it. That acceptance of fear, paired with the resolve to act, is the foundation they build before taking that first step out the door.
So, with that courage and basic preparation in hand, they finally set out on the journey. It's just them and their trusty horse, Iolus,
Good old Violas.
heading into the wild foothills, leaving the known world behind.
They travel light, packing only the essentials for survival: the sword, torches, some basic armor, rations, water skin, bedroll, rope, tinderbox, hunting bow, field knife.
Essentials, but still sounds like a lot for the horse.
Iolus earns his keep, and being a scribe, they do bring their writing supplies and a book from their master, which is a nice detail. Shows they can't shed their whole identity.
Yeah, still a scribe at heart. And the immediate reality check of the wilderness hits hard, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, almost right away. They face difficult weather, rain, and cold. Supplies run out much faster than anticipated.
Always happens.
And the constant daily grind of hunting and foraging just to stay alive eats up a huge amount of time, taking them away from the main goal of finding the Hydra.
That's the first friction you encounter, right? When the ideal plan meets the messy reality.
Exactly. The idea of the journey quickly meets the unpredictable world, and this leads directly into the struggle to even find the challenge itself. They spend a week searching, exploring caves.
Looking for the lair.
Right, but finding only easy, empty ones. The text describes them as too easy, places that clearly held nothing worthwhile.
And of course, with that lack of progress, with the effort not yielding results, doubts inevitably start creeping in.
For sure. Should they keep going? Was this a foolish quest after all? All those voices from home probably echoing in their head.
I bet.
This phase truly reveals the nature of venturing into the unknown. It means abandoning the predictable structure of your old life, placing your trust in your preparation, your developing skill, and maybe, just maybe, a bit of fortune.
So you're wandering with a purpose, yes, but towards an unknown future. No map, no timeline.
Precisely.
How do you cope with that kind of pervasive uncertainty day after day? That sounds draining.
The scribe finds something essential in the chaos structure. They develop a rigid daily routine.
Ah, okay. Like what?
Morning practice with the sword, dedicated time for searching for the lair, and then the essential tasks of foraging, hunting, and preparing supplies in the evening. This routine, even though the outcome is uncertain, provides comfort, focus, and a sense of forward movement.
It's almost like the routine becomes the anchor in the storm of the unknown.
That's a good way to put it. And there's a crucial shift in perspective mentioned, right? At first, hunting and foraging probably felt like tedious distractions.
Yeah, taking precious time away from the grand quest.
Exactly. But they come to realize that these seemingly mundane tasks aren't distractions at all. They are essential support functions for the entire undertaking.
You have to take care of the basics.
You have to take care of the basics of survival to even be on the journey to face the bigger challenge. Can't fight a Hydra if you starve first.
Good point.
Yeah.
Despite that newfound structure and perspective, the manuscript details the emotional grind. The feeling of losing track of time, described as an eternity.
Yeah, time gets weird out there. Spirits get incredibly low, and in a moment of lonely desperation, the protagonist resorts to talking to their horse, Iolus.
Huh. Been there? Well, maybe not talking to a horse, but,
Apparently, Iolus is an excellent listener, according to the text. A real comfort.
I believe it.
But despite that emotional difficulty and the lack of immediate payoff, they do start seeing tangible benefits from their earlier practice.
Okay, so the training is paying off.
Little by little, the sword feels less heavy in their hand, they're quicker on their feet, more sure-footed climbing rocky terrain, better at making those crucial torches. The small daily improvements start adding up.
That must provide some encouragement.
It does, but the fears aren't just internal anymore. New external threats emerge, like a pack of wolves they encounter,
Oh,
kept at bay only by fire, causing pure terror. But the text notes the protagonist reminds themselves that hardship was expected. This was never going to be comfortable or easy.
Reddy signed up for this.
Pushing onward, they enter a truly foreboding, shadowy forest. It feels incredibly exposed and vulnerable. They're surrounded by the unknown. It's dark, quiet,
Spooky.
and there's an overpowering, sickly, sweet scent of decay that even spooks Iolus.
The air itself feels wrong. Not a good sign.
Definitely not. But it's in this deep, dark, unpleasant place, far from anywhere easy or comfortable, that they finally make the discovery. That foul smell that spooked Iolus leads them to a black chasm in the earth, the Hydra's lair.
Finally, after all that searching.
The long, arduous search is finally over. They found the cave that was not too easy.
So the exhausting journey is complete. The scary, sought-out lair is found, signaled by that, overpowering stench leading to a dark chasm.
Yep. Hearing sounds echoing from within confirms the beast is indeed there. They set up camp at a safe distance to gather themselves.
And here, before the physical battle inside the cave even begins, comes what the manuscript describes as the real first fight, the internal one.
Exactly. Standing outside that chasm, the protagonist finds themselves inventing a million reasons to delay.
Like what? Suddenly need to organize the campsite.
Pretty much. Sharpening the sword again, making just one more torch, suddenly feeling sick, noticing the weather might turn. Any excuse.
It's that moment of pure resistance, isn't it? Where fear tries to conjure any plausible reason to avoid the inevitable confrontation.
Precisely. But they recognize these for what they are: transparent attempts to avoid facing the monster. They decide, with renewed resolve, to proceed despite the fear.
Back to that definition of courage.
Right. They understand that justified fear is a normal, even healthy response. But it shouldn't be allowed to lead to useless paralysis. You acknowledge the fear, and you step forward anyway.
Stepping into the cave, I imagine the environment is just awful.
Oh, it's every bit as unpleasant as the smell suggested. Damaged rock formations, constant dripping water, cold, humidity, that overwhelming stench. Every moment feels vulnerable, like you're on enemy ground, and yet even in there, they immediately start trying to map the cave, finding structure even within the monster's home.
Still the scribe, trying to understand and document.
Exactly. And even outside the lair, the danger is constant. They have a terrifying scare one night, something large moving near the camp.
Just outside.
Yeah, later confirmed by fresh damage found just inside the cave entrance. It's a reminder that the threat is always present.
So when planning their actual approach, they make some smart strategic choices, not just charging in.
Definitely not. They avoid the large, obvious main passage, opting instead for a narrower one, hoping to gain some kind of environmental advantage against a much larger foe.
Makes sense. Use the terrain.
And then comes that moment, the first sighting. Peering around a corner in the dark, narrow tunnel, they finally see the Hydra up close.
As terrifying as imagined.
There's a powerful observation in the text. It's large and terrifying, yes, but maybe not as monstrously gigantic as their fear had built it up to be.
Fear makes things bigger.
It often does. Sizable and powerful, but not invincible looking. They also find a fleeting, fortunate circumstance. The beast is sleeping after eating.
Oh, a bit of luck. Maybe sneak past.
You'd think, but nope. You get this brief moment of perceived advantage, only for the Hydra to be instantly awakened upon them.
Oh, no.
Jaws snapping, multiple heads competing to strike. It's a frantic, desperate sprint back to the relative safety of the narrow passage they chose.
So the narrow passage plan works.
Sort of. One head manages to force its way in, and the scribe just lashes out desperately with the sword and the torch, managing to cut its snout and force it to recoil from the fire.
Wow. Close call.
Very. They escape the cave, wounded, but alive. It's chaotic, terrifying, but they survive the first direct encounter.
And that chaotic near-death experience, it must teach them something valuable right away.
Absolutely. In the moment, it teaches that being small and agile can be a crucial advantage against a behemoth.
Survival isn't just about getting lucky, it's the ultimate teacher.
Right. Couldn't have learned it any other way. This first fight provides invaluable information. It makes it crystal clear that a direct head-to-head fight is impossible. Suicide.
So it forces a change in strategy.
Immediately. The goal has to shift from killing the whole beast at once to isolating individual heads. They plan to use the cave environment itself, the narrow tunnels, maybe even hide chambers they mapped for ambushes and hit-and-run attacks.
Tactical thinking kicking in.
And they start seeing initial successes with this strategy, luring a single head down a side tunnel, striking from an advantageous position, successfully cutting, and, crucially, cauterizing a head.
Yes. Progress.
Progress, yes, but the text is clear. This is an absolute grind. The Hydra gets tired, sure, but it also gets more wary and potentially more dangerous.
Learns from the encounters, too.
Exactly. And the protagonist is also utterly exhausted, desperately needs rest, but knows any delay allows the enemy to recover too. It's a race against exhaustion.
And setbacks are not just possible, they're inevitable in something like this.
Oh, they happen. They get injured by the Hydra's whipping tail even after a successful cut. Then, a critical mistake.
What happened?
Not applying the torch quickly enough to a severed neck, and suddenly, 2 heads regrow. The task they thought they were conquering just got bigger again.
Ugh, devastating. Back to square one, almost.
Feels like it. Learning from failure becomes a constant theme here. The text emphasizes accepting that mistakes happen, recognizing that you cannot predict the future perfectly.
No crystal ball.
Nope. And focusing intensely on learning from each trial, each setback, and trying better, smarter next time.
This all culminates in a terrifying brush, with death described in vivid detail, doesn't it?
Oh yeah. Ambushed in a passage, bitten, dragged, truly near death. But instinct, honed by desperation and all that practice,
Kicks in.
kicks in. They fight back with everything they have, managing to sever the head that held them, cauterize, and escape the cave severely wounded, barely conscious.
Just pure survival instinct.
Pure survival. But they're in terrible shape now. Wounds aren't healing, fever sets in, decay begins. There are no medical supplies left.
What do?
This leads to desperate improvisation born of necessity, boiling strips of their cloak for bandages. Resourceful.
In taking a massive gamble on some dark green moss they find near their camp, is it medicine or poison? They have no idea.
Wow, that's a roll of the dice with their life.
A pure act of desperate will. And thankfully, fortune smiles upon them in this instance. The moss works. The fever breaks, the wounds slowly start to heal. They recover, but they gain a deep, renewed sense of prudence from this.
Yeah, just rush back in.
No way. They take time to fully heal, even resorting to hunting to feed the Hydra by leaving carcasses near the cave.
To distract it.
Yeah, diverting its attention so they aren't the hunted. Patience becomes necessary. Rushing back into the fray would risk permanent harm, maybe death this time.
And this whole experience, particularly the near-death and recovery, it fundamentally changes their view of the legendary heroes they grew up reading about, right?
Yeah, it's a major shift. How so?
They realized those legendary heroes weren't foolish or inherently fearless super beings. They were people who used strategy, who prepared.
Just like they had to learn to do. Exactly. And whose stories were undoubtedly embellished over time, omitting the incredible hardship, the mistakes, the moments of pure terror, and the messy reality of the struggle.
The highlight reel, not the full documentary.
Precisely. And this truth, and it's hard for everyone, even the legends, is actually incredibly important and encouraging for the scribe. It makes their own struggle feel possible, not inadequate compared to some impossible ideal.
That's a powerful reframing of heroism. So after healing, carrying this new understanding, they return to the cave, ready to finish it. Yes, they come back. With a deep, new respect for the foe, but also a hardened, unyielding determination to finish the task.
Eventually, after this prolonged, brutal struggle, the moment finally arrives.
The Hydra is slain.
Yeah.
Victory.
And naturally, following the legends they knew, the protagonist immediately searches the lair for the treasure, the big payoff.
Right, the fabled pile of gold and jewels guarded by the monster, what every adventurer dreams of finding.
But what they find is,
Yeah.
well, it's crushing disappointment, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely soul-crushing. Just a small pile of utterly worthless crystals.
And nothing after all that.
Nothing of monetary value. Despair just washes over them. They feel like a complete fool, that all the hardship, the pain, the near-death experiences were for nothing. The legends were just exaggerated stories, and they fell for it.
Oh, man. That's the ultimate letdown after achieving the impossible task itself.
Totally. They prepare to leave, accepting the defeat of that specific expectation, planning the long, empty journey home, probably just trying to find a way to distract themselves from the despair of feeling like their sacrifice was for naught.
But then, just before they leave, something clicks.
A crucial insight clicks into place. It's a seemingly simple thing, remembering a lesson maybe from their old master, to examine the environment and circumstances for resources.
Okay.
The expected treasure isn't there. What is the only significant resource left in this environment?
Like dead Hydra itself?
Bingo! The paradigm shift. The Hydra wasn't guarding the treasure, it was the treasure.
Whoa.
Exactly. They return to the carcass not with disgust anymore, but with a new perspective, examining it in detail. The incredibly tough hide, the potent heads, the sharp teeth.
And they begin the painstaking process of harvesting that value.
Right. Carefully skinning the hide, preserving some of the heads, collecting the fangs. These aren't glittering gold coins, but they are incredibly valuable materials earned through immense effort.
A different kind of treasure.
A very different kind. They began the long journey home, walking beside their horse, Iolus, who is now laden with these unexpected, hard-won remains.
And the value of the entire process begins to become truly evident on that journey home.
Yeah.
Right? It wasn't just about this end result.
Yes, exactly. As they travel, they modify their daily routine. Instead of just surviving or making torches, they spend their evenings working the Hydra remains.
Crafting things.
Crafting!
Right.
A new set of armor from the scales, a dagger from a tooth. They find a deep sense of interest in learning in this new craft, this practical application of what they've earned through blood, sweat, and terror.
It's the shift from focusing solely on the outcome, the gold that wasn't there, to valuing the skills, materials, and experiences gained during the struggle.
Oh, that's the heart of it.
Upon finally returning home, they get the hero's welcome they might have initially dreamed of, I assume.
They do. Praise, pride, boasting from family and friends about their incredible feat. Our scribe, the Hydra Slayer.
Must feel good, at least for a bit.
And the text notes, they enjoy this attention for a while, of course. Who wouldn't? But they quickly realize the fleeting nature of that external validation.
It wears off.
It wears off. It feels good in the moment, but it fades. The real lasting validation they needed had already been built internally, through the struggle itself, through the self-reliance and capability they discovered within themselves.
The material rewards do eventually materialize in a more conventional sense, though, right?
Yes,
from the Hydra part.
They do. The hide and sinew sell for a handsome price. The preserved heads are displayed in the local tavern.
Centerpiece, I bet.
Oh, yeah. And yes, minstrels sing embellished tales, conveniently omitting the messy, mundane parts of the struggle, the fear, the near-death moss incident.
Naturally. Got to make it sound good.
And there's a particularly pointed observation here about status versus earned value. The protagonist sees a wealthy merchant's son strutting around in brand new Hydra-scale armor that he simply bought.
Yeah, how does it feel?
The text notes how ridiculous it looks on him. The armor had meaning, depth, and value because the protagonist earned every single scale through unimaginable struggle. On the merchant's son, it's just an expensive costume.
That comparison really drives home the difference between appearance and substance, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
And a few months after returning, the lasting impact is clear. They don't just settle back into monotony.
No, the protagonist finds themselves feeling restless again. And not in a bad way. It's more like ready. Ready for a new quest, a new Hydra, to face understanding now that Hydra is a metaphor for any daunting, uncertain challenge.
So the cycle begins again, but with wisdom this time.
Their journey wasn't about one monster. It was about the capacity they built within themselves to face any monster, any big challenge.
Having faced many Hydras over time, the scribe's journal becomes more than just a record of events. It's a testament to a lifetime of growth forged through challenge.
Definitely. But they note a hard, recurring truth. Subsequent battles weren't necessarily easier.
Really. Not even with experience.
Apparently not significantly easier. The challenges continued to be immense and demanding. The work of facing worthwhile challenges is always challenging, but the effort and the struggle are always worthwhile. That seems to be the takeaway.
They dedicate portions of the later manuscript to attempting to capture this hard-won wisdom, right? Trying to pass it on.
Yes, acknowledging the inherent difficulty of putting such complex lived experience into simple words. It's hard to bottle wisdom.
And one of the most profound insights they articulate is about the biggest threat. It's not what you'd expect.
No. It's not the monster outside the cave. It's one's own mind. Specifically, the refusal to act. That voice that says, Maybe tomorrow.
Procrastination as the real enemy.
The manuscript calls inaction in the face of a necessary challenge a form of soul death.
Wow, that hits hard. So if that's the biggest threat, how do you identify the battles worth fighting? How do you spot a real Hydra, metaphorically speaking?
According to the text, they are the ones that scare you,
Lean into the fear.
in a way. They are the deep, dark caves that require immense effort and courage to even approach. The easy paths, the manuscript warns, lead nowhere valuable. Worthwhile challenges reside where discomfort and fear also reside.
Okay, so you've identified that scary cave. What's paramount then? What do you need?
Mastering your tools is absolutely critical. This means having good gear, yes, but maybe more importantly, developing the skill to use those tools effectively and the discipline to maintain them.
Like keeping the sword sharp.
Exactly. A dull, rusty sword is useless when the Hydra attacks. And this applies metaphorically, too, mastering your skills, your knowledge, your internal resources.
And you must accept the unpleasantness that comes with facing these things. No pretending it's fun.
Completely. Hydras, or big challenges, are inherently difficult. They're ugly, they probably metaphorically stink, they try to consume you. Almost anything else seems more appealing than confronting them directly.
Yeah, scrolling social media seems easier.
Right. But the wisdom is realizing you must face them anyway if that's the challenge calling you. You can't wish away the difficulty, you have to engage with it.
That leads directly back to dealing with fear, doesn't it? The text returns to this point often.
Yes, the universality of fear. The scribe reiterates that everyone feels fear and doubt when facing something truly daunting. It's normal. It's not a weakness.
It's human.
It's human. The crucial part is recognizing that your emotions don't have to control your actions. You feel the fear, and you choose to act differently.
And for overcoming paralysis, that state where you just freeze up and can't act.
The key is action. The manuscript points out that rumination, just thinking and worrying about the challenge.
Spinning your wheels mentally.
Yeah, it tends to invent horrors and make the situation seem far worse than it actually is. Taking action, even small steps, reveals the real situation, allowing you to deal with what is actually there, not the monsters you've cooked up in your mind.
And the root of much of that fear often seems to be the unknown, the uncontrollable future.
Precisely. You cannot change that reality. You cannot predict the outcome with certainty. So since you can't control this fundamental fact, the wisdom is to simply refuse to let it stop you. Accept the uncertainty and move forward anyway.
Once you commit to acting, commitment in action seems key. Not just starting, but continuing.
Yes. Individual attacks, individual efforts may fail or succeed unpredictably. You have to commit fully to each one despite that uncertainty.
Even when it's hard or you mess up.
Especially then. The text is very human about this. Setbacks, mistakes, bad days are part of the process. They're part of being human. You have to trust your resilience and your judgment to navigate them.
And this is where the power of past triumphs really pays off. Remembering you've done hard things before.
Exactly. Experience facing struggles, even the smaller ones on the journey to the Hydra, builds a reservoir of confidence. It provides concrete counterexamples to those nagging doubts. You can look back and think, I faced that terrifying situation, I made it through, I've done it before, I can do it again.
That's really practical advice. Navigating risk is unavoidable in any ambitious undertaking, right?
Totally unavoidable. You can't eliminate it, but you can learn strategies to evade damage where possible, not just absorb it blindly. Survival is necessary to actually enjoy any rewards that come from the struggle.
So don't be reckless.
Right. The wisdom is about learning to anticipate and prevent avoidable mistakes. Play smart.
And what about the unavoidable mistakes? The ones that just happen?
They happen. Accept it. The goal shifts from avoiding all mistakes, which is impossible, to striving to make valuable mistakes, the kind that teach you profound lessons and directly help you improve for the next encounter.
Learn from it. Don't just beat yourself up. Expect battle scars then.
Absolutely. Physical and metaphorical. They are badges of experience. The manuscript notes that novices quit when things get hard, when they get those first scars. Experienced adventurers understand this is part of the cost and keep going.
And dealing with external noise, the peanut gallery, as the outline called it, other people's opinions.
Vital to ignore, according to the scribe. External opinions, the pursuit of renown, and especially advice from those who have not faced similar challenges are distractions.
Don't take advice from someone who hasn't fought a Hydra.
Pretty much. The only voices worth listening to, the text argues, are from those who have actually fought their own battles.
The wisdom seems to be about finding a difficult balance throughout all this.
Yes, constantly navigating that path between destructive humility, belittling your own capability.
Thinking I can't do this.
Right. And dangerous hubris, overestimating yourself and getting careless, finding the middle ground where you respect the challenge but trust your preparation and skill.
Ultimately then, how does the manuscript define a hero? It's not about being fearless or perfect.
No, not at all. The hero is defined by the decision to face their fears and take action anyway, relying on their preparation, their skill, and their resolve. The outcome is almost secondary to the act of choosing to step into the arena.
It's in the trying, with intention.
Yeah.
And finally, the role of fortune, or luck.
Outcomes simply aren't guaranteed, no matter how well prepared you are, how skilled you are. Fortune plays a part. Chance happens.
So what do?
You accept it. But the act of moving forward, of taking action, increases the chances that fortune might smile upon you. You can't control luck, but you can put yourself in a position where luck has a chance to help. You have to choose to move forward anyway, accepting that inherent uncertainty.
And the text ends this section by noting that even facing the end of a difficult journey or chapter in your life with courage is a significant feat in itself.
Yeah, it's not just about the grand battles, it's about how you navigate the entire process, beginning to end, including the endings.
Which brings us to the final, really powerful decision point recounted in the manuscript. After proving themselves by facing their Hydra and earning their place, a new grand opportunity arrives.
Right. A party of clearly experienced, formidable adventurers shows up, and they're inviting the protagonist on a high-stakes dragon quest.
A dragon. That's a step up from a Hydra, presumably.
Definitely implied to be. And the promises are huge, immense treasure, far beyond anything the Hydra legends offered.
So they evaluate the offer carefully. It must be tempting.
Extremely tempting. The party is impressive, capable, well-equipped, with an experienced leader. The potential rewards are enormous, a true mountain of gold and jewels. And crucially, this invitation validates the protagonist's hard-earned reputation. They're being recognized.
It's the kind of opportunity many people spend their lives dreaming of or striving for, big leagues.
Absolutely. It presents a significant internal debate, weighing the undeniable allure of immense glory and wealth against the value of the life they've built back home, the loved ones waiting there.
And the risk factor, of course.
And, of course, recognizing the immense, perhaps even foolish risk of facing a dragon.
This is where all the hard-won wisdom from the Hydra quest comes into play, isn't it?
Exactly. The initial quest proved their capability. They don't need external validation from this party or this dragon to know what they're capable of.
They've already done the impossible for them.
Right. Now, the focus isn't on proving themselves again, but on choosing battles wisely. Avoiding unfavorable circumstances becomes paramount. Thinking strategically about life choices.
And they clearly distinguish this opportunity from their original Hydra quest,
Right.
It feels different.
Yes, that distinction is key. The Dragon Quest was offered to them. It wasn't something they sought out themselves, driven by that deep personal ambition to avoid regret.
It's someone else's dream.
It's someone else's dream, someone else's quest. And the specific dangers and circumstances of facing a dragon are simply unappealing compared to the life they value.
So the deliberation boils down to some core questions for themselves.
Yeah, like, is this a true opportunity for me? Or is it a distraction from the life and purpose I've built? Are the circumstances right for me? Will pursuing someone else's dream lead to regret later?
And the flip side too, right? Will declining this seemingly golden opportunity lead to regret if the party succeeds spectacularly? FOMO is real.
Exactly. That fear of missing out versus the fear of losing what you have. After this deep internal weighing of value and risk, the protagonist makes a clear decision.
And the decision is?
They decline the offer.
Wow.
A quiet, resolute decision to choose their life, their home, and their loved ones over the promise of external glory and immense, uncertain wealth from a quest that wasn't truly theirs.
That takes a different kind of courage than facing a monster, doesn't it?
It really does. It's the courage to say no to what the world says you should want, maybe.
Yeah. To define success on your own terms.
Precisely. And as a gesture of respect for the other adventurers and the dangerous path they are choosing, the protagonist gives each party member daggers they made from Hydra teeth.
A gift from their own struggle.
Yeah. A quiet acknowledgement of their own journey and a gift forged in true hardship, sharing the value they created.
And in a powerful, understated moment, the protagonist notices something about the party members.
Yes. They notice that some members of the Dragon Quest party are actually already wearing armor pieces and using bowstrings derived from the protagonist's past Hydra triumph.
Whoa. So the stuff they harvested and sold?
It's already out there. It's a subtle confirmation that the value they harvested from their own struggle has already entered the wider world and is being used by others. Even as those others pursue different flashier quests, their earned value is tangible and useful.
That's incredible. Their work had impact beyond themselves.
Exactly. The return home after declining the dragon quest is described as peaceful. Saluting the departing party, they head back, arriving home just as dawn breaks.
And the manuscript ends this section with a profound sense of closure.
Deep closure. Tending to their horse, putting their sword and armor back into the chest and locking it away for now. They describe experiencing a clear mind and a light spirit, ready for the simple joys of life, like making breakfast.
The battle is over. For now.
The time for that specific kind of battle is over, for now. They found peace not by constantly seeking the next biggest fight, but by knowing when to stop fighting and by valuing what they had earned and built.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into how to fight a Hydra, the powerful central metaphor remains crystal clear. The Hydra represents the uncertain, complex, and scary challenges.
And the unknown future we all face.
Yeah, whether they are career changes, creative projects, difficult conversations, or personal growth journeys. Big stuff, small stuff.
And the core, hard-won takeaway from the scribe's manuscript is this. You cannot control the outcome, and there are no guarantees when you pursue truly ambitious goals.
It's kind of terrifying, but also freeing, maybe.
Both. But the truly heroic act isn't about being fearless or having a guaranteed path. It's choosing to face those challenges anyway, despite the fear, relying intensely on your preparation, your skill, your resilience, and your determination.
It's about committing to the process, learning from setbacks, valuing the resources you gain along the way.
Yeah,
Even if it's just worthless crystals or, Hydra hide.
exactly. And finding validation internally, not just externally. It's about building the capacity within yourself to face uncertainty.
And the brilliance of the book, as you said, is how it distills these really profound insights from seemingly disparate fields: ancient philosophy, military strategy, psychology, even project management.
Yeah, all woven into the single compelling adventure narrative. It makes the wisdom stick.
Which leaves us with that question the manuscript subtly poses to you, the reader, the listener. What does facing your own Hydra look like right now?
What scary but important challenge are you maybe avoiding or ready to step towards?
Trusting in your own capabilities, accepting the uncertainty, and committing to the fight, whatever that fight looks like for you.
Go forth, brave soul, and fight well.